August 2nd. Come as you are. Sunny skies walked into the ready room of the National Weather Service's San Diego station. It was 5 in the morning, and a Sunday to boot. And the fact that he'd been called to the station this early in the morning pretty much suspends any chance he was going to be able to take his kids out to Disneyland today. Okay, he said, walking over to the coffee pot and pouring himself a cup of thick sludge to pass for Java around here. What we got? Rainy Afternoon ran his hand through his graying hair aside. You aren't going to believe this one, boss. Oh, trust me. I've seen enough weird shit to last a lifetime. Did I ever tell you about the time it snowed here in San Diego? Hey, I still remember that one time it snowed in San Francisco. Way too many times. Here, Strawberry, he said as the second person sat down at our console. Strawberry said that he was young. So much so he reminded him of his kid sister. She was hella smart. You wouldn't be surprised if she made director at the whole service one day. Hey yourselves, guys. Rainy's right, this ain't normal. Moving the on-screen maps, he moused over to the thing. Tropical storm, just outside of Ensenada, started yesterday on Carefree's watch. Skies blinked. There's no indicator of a tropical storm, much less a hurricane. For one, this part of the Pacific was too cold to start tropical depressions, much less hurricanes. The chances of it happening were simply astronomical. So much so the last recorded one was in the early 1900s. You're telling me it just formed? Rain commented, Yeah. Showed up so fast we haven't even given it a name yet. At this rate, it's going to go Category 1 in a few minutes. Just did, Strawberry commented. Pulling from the list now. Name is Everblue. The one looked on screen at the newly christened Hurricane Everblue. And it seems to be growing, if I'm reading this right. Okay, Sky said, coffee in his hand unconsumed as he looked over Strawberry's shoulder at the radar display. He'd never seen anything like it before. Give me the possible tracking, he ordered. Also, talk to the Navy, Coast Guard, and the folks in Mexico. They have to be watching as well. SMN Station Estrada was the one who told us about it. They're frankly floored and asked us for help figuring it out. It's not going to be their problem much longer. So be out of Mexican waters within the hour, Rainey commented. Sending an email now to the 3rd Fleet and the Coast Guard station. We'll hear a response back from them soon, given where the hurricane is. Skies took a deep draught from his coffee, then readjusted his glasses over the bridge of his nose. See if 3rd Fleet can loan us a hurricane chaser until I get someone from Kansas City here. I want direct eyes on that thing. This is going to be one for the records. Now, if you excuse me for a second, I need to make some calls. The first of which will be to my very disappointed kids. Meanwhile, the nondescript plane landed at the equally nondescript airport in Pinehurst, Oregon. The side of the plane opened, and before the ladder could be driven into place, the lead man jumped to the tarmac as it was no big thing. What, trying to impress me, Blackthorn? A man in a gray suit commented. He ran his hand through his golden black hair, adjusted his glasses. You boys done fucked up Dubai, so yeah, I guess you have to impress me somehow. Blackthorn just fixed his red eyes on his target, his short black hair flowing in the wind. Not my fault. I told you we needed Sergeant Loam for Alicorn. The man pointed an angry finger at Blackthorn. First off, you got the top operators in the fucking world with you. You fell apart because you were missing one man. Are you that fucking useless? Second, you called your team Alicorn? Seriously? When do you change it to Pretty Princesses? I'm paying you to be a black unit, not the Philly Financia fan club. If I wanted those, what the fuck they're called, bronies, I would have gone on some recruiting drive at their goddamn convention in Baltimore. Your guys gave us bad intel, Blackthorn continued, ignoring the other man. Personally, I was able to make up for that. Caught me a little piece of tail at the airport. He reached to the side of the radio spoke. Okay, bring the bitch out. A woman, apparently handcuffed, was thrown out of the airplane, rolling down the metal steps until she came to a painful stump on the ground. She was merely picked up by a man who was practically a mountain, who effortlessly slipped her over his shoulder, walked over to the others and threw her onto the pavement. She turned and spat out something. The bloody blob landed on the ground, and was revealed a second later one of her teeth. Despite the bruised and battered condition of her face, she looked at the trio with unsearing orange eyes of rage. You motherfuckers are going down, you know that? The man spoke. Not the way I see it, Lieutenant Commander Aprazio Crass. From where I'm standing, you're the one with a choice. Spend the rest of your days in our Supermax jail under Hudson Bay, or a bullet through your brain. Same to me, all really. She laughed a cruel, heartless laugh. And the head asshole comes out. CSIS Director Golden Rule himself. She let down with fury so intense it would have murdered him from gaze alone. Come out to play? CSIS? I thought you were the agency, Blackthorn asked. Yeah, well, I thought you were smart, but I guess we all live with the disappointment, he said, shaking his head. I called in a few favors for Washington, which we were all too happy to give over. That's why Five Eyes are better than one. Hell, I'm not talking, she said. You can go fuck yourself. That's okay. You don't need to, he said, pulling a gun from a holster underneath his blazer. I already know where they are, because they're getting help, and their help is not too smart. I'll say hi to them while I visit Camelot. Here's a lovely place. While the siren's face remained impassive, he knew he had her to rights. Putting the gun to her head, he commented, You know, it'll be a waste to remove a good pawn from the board. Tell you what, you work for me and I'll spare you. Of course, you'll have to take care of all my needs, and I hear you ladies are turned to be best in bed. Sorry, can't work miracles with tiny peckers, she spat. I see. Well, that's a shame of an answer, he told her. Placing a gun to her head, he added, And I have a thing for girls with blue and green hair, too. Reminds me of my first girlfriend. Yeah, and how many times did you rape her until she left? You, Cyrus, are just as classy as I expected. Well, it was nice knowing to you. Oh, and one more thing. I'm not Golden Rule. She has better things to do with her time. He pulled the trigger. A second later, he pulled a white handkerchief from her breast pocket and wiped the blood off the gun. Such a shame, he murmured. Look at Blackthorn, he said. Well, now you know where to go. Pointing to a semi-rig at the other end of the field, he said, Race low with everything you need to end those ladies. Full armament and Humvee in the back for your needs. We would have added a Predator, but the Americans didn't want anything that would point back to them. I want them all dead with the exception of Captain Blast. Her I want alive and unharmed. See, she and the director have a little chit-chat. Ladies' business, you know, not for us menfolk. What about her? Blackthorn asked, indicating the corpse of Aprazio Crass. Bury her on a mountaintop or something, preferably with this. She probably earned it at one point in her life before everything went wrong, and I suppose we Canadians should be grateful for her sacrifice. The man handed Blackthorn across the Valor. Oh, and afterwards, clean up all this blood. We don't want the fine citizens of the United States to think their neighbors up north were anything less than a model politeness, would we? Meanwhile, back with Sunset. Sunset set down the last box. Well, that should be everything, Mr. Kink, she told her boss. Carrot looked at the high piles of boxes in the knickerbocker. Thanks for helping out, Sunset, Carrot told her. I know it couldn't have been easy. Oh, please, Mr. C, it wasn't a problem at all, Sunset said with a smile. After all, you were the one taking care of breakfast, right? And here we are! A shout came from the kitchen. Pinky came out carrying a dozen donuts, a pot of coffee, a 6-pack of Coke, a dozen breakfast burritos, and an order of eggs Benedict. Hope you're hungry! Pinky, you're short enough, Carrot told her. No, really, that's a lot much. Actually, Sunset suggested, maybe we can give some to the homeless shelter down the road. It'll give us a little goodwill, get the attention of the staff, and when the clientele gets back on their feet, they'll remember this place and want to come back. Pinky said between bites of her donuts. Mary, sweetie, Carrot told his niece. Sorry, Uncle Carrot, but that's a great idea, Pinky exclaimed, and healing another donut and taking a shot of coffee. Okay, get started making more for the shelter. Before he could see anything further, she picked the next 5 boxes and walked in with them effortlessly. I will never understand her, he said, shaking his head but with a tone of pride in his voice. You must be absolutely proud of her, Sunset asked. Carrot nodded. As much as she's been mine and Cub's flesh and blood daughter, we don't regret having taken her in at all. Through it all, she's been nothing but a joy for us. We're going to miss her when she goes off to college, but we know we've done our best to bring her up into the best woman she can be. And I guess because of her, we'll get Pumpkin and Pound right for sure. He gave such a smile and said, but I guess your parents already know about that sort of thing, right? I don't know, to be honest. My parents have already raised Shining, Twilight, and well, Octavia as well. They're already way handling Spike with no problem. I know they love me, but sometimes I feel as though I'm an interloper. You should probably never forget them that they wanted you in their lives, Sonny. I know it doesn't have as much of an impact as a near adult as if they adopted you as a child, but the feeling is very much the same. They want you to be a part of their family, and I dare say you've needed a family for the longest time. Yes, the flame-haired girl replied, not sure what else to say.
But that's just a few more weeks, and there you go,
Pinky shouted, walking out of the kitchen with a bunch of March bags filled with foodstuffs.
Oh, and question, so you can change your name once you adopted, are you?
You can?
Uh-huh. Remember that Rainbow's parents changed Skillow's name when they adopted her? And a good thing, too.
Why is that? Carrie asked.
Because of the sweet Cicely?
Piggy stated in a tone indicating she didn't want to talk about it. Who's Sweet Cicely? Sunset added.
Look, gotta go!
Piggy said, rushing out the Knickerbocker, bags in hand. Sunset looked briefly at Carrot, then rushed out the door to her friend. Piggy, wait! They got 2 blocks from the cafe before Pinky slowed down. Well.
Wow. Do you know you can run that fast?
I cheated. I fast-stepped, Sunset replied. It's early enough in the morning I could get away with it. Now, do you want to talk to me or are we going to drop it?
We're going to drop it,
Pinky told her in a serious tone.
Because it's my personal business, Sonny. You're my friend and all, but my romantic life, focus and all, is my business. It's the same reason why Fluttershy hasn't talked about hers, and why Rainbow and Soren don't talk much about theirs out here. You're our friend now, but there's still some things we're not ready to deal with yet.
Did I do something to you? Sunset asked, her worries climbing fast as her feet came to a stop. Pinky kept on waiting.
Not directly,
was all she said. Meanwhile, back with Cadence. Cadence was slipping on her ear and eye protection at the range when she caught sight of the person walking to the stall next to her.
Tia, what are you doing here?
The smile on Celestia's face was a delightful surprise as well.
Well, I'm here to learn how to shoot a gun, courtesy of my boyfriend here.
She pointed at Sable, and for the look of utter appreciation on her niece's face, the older woman chuckled inwardly.
Guess I got lucky, huh? I'll say,
Cadence agreed as Celestia giggled. Celestia made the introductions, and Cadence afterwards asked again.
So, here to learn how to shoot?
Celestia nodded.
Sable insisted on it, and I can't quite argue with that.
She said as he wordlessly slipped on his own protection and passed on hers.
What are you doing here? Annual calls,
Cadence replied.
Ever since the Equestrian County District Attorney was assassinated back in the mid-1930s, they've required all their ADAs to be gun qualified. It's a dumb county ordinance and mostly not enforced, but I figured as the fiancé of a cop, I should probably be familiar with what Shining does. Besides, I'll be escorting the girls on their camping trip next week, and Shining insisted I take the pistol in case of emergency.
I'll remember that, Sunset commented. Looking forward to it?
Kane smiled. About as much as Aunt Luna enjoyed taking me and my friends camping when I was the girls' age.
Celestia tried not to laugh much at that. Luna had got into an argument with a park ranger that was asking who the adult in charge of the campsite was. It didn't help that Luna always leaned towards a younger demeanor, but when the ranger insisted her ID was fake, the near arrest that Luna earned yelling the ranger to deploy a death disc was something Celestia's younger sister was trying to forget, even 10 years later. As everyone got into position, and Sable briefly went over the gun and how it worked, he suggested that Celestia watch her niece for form. Taking a hit, Cadence relaxed, picked up the pistol, and aimed and pulled the trigger 3 times, sending rounds to the range. She's good, Sable said, and Cadence felt proud of herself. Until her aunt picked up a larger gun and sent the blast down the line, where they were easily tore through the center of the target. How? Cadence asked, looking in surprise while they pulled back both their targets. While Cadence's shots have been decent, Celestia's been near perfect.
What? Luna never dragged you into a marathon session of shooting games because she bickered with her boyfriend and needed to blow off steam?
Celestia joked. Meanwhile, back with Shining. Thanks for your time. Shining commented to the detective at the Ashland Police Department. He and Sandalwood had left early in the morning for Oregon and Scenic Route Valley County, and other than a breakfast at the borderline, the best part of Oregon is eating at the borderline, they had nothing more. Sandalwood looked over the record. Okay, so the girl's boyfriend cows to using her like a fleshlight. They got high and drunk and all the usual things that most teens do, yourself excluded, she teased. She was kidnapped along in Southbound 5, and when someone found out little Miss Prissy was, cancer shock, not a virgin, they chopped her in a dozen pieces and left her for her parents to find, complete with a Joker card. A little harsh, and I'm sure there are better ways to tell their parents they need to raise their kids better, but still, not getting us anywhere while we need to find this asshole. Now their boyfriend's any better. He's already seen your best friend. That's fast, he commented. Yeah, not like I wish I knew how that was, Sandalwood muttered under her breath. You say something? Shining asked. Yeah. Let's go through the order. We've got the Fool, Chariot, Strength, one Joker, then the Wheel of Fortune. Something's missing. I'm not quite sure what it is. Frankly, looking through these Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo books, completely stumped. You hear anything from Witchy Pip? No, and I don't blame her. We only asked her to look into a couple days ago. As ironic as it is to say, well, she's not made of magic. Besides, the kinds of things you look up are less likely to be in our range of expertise. Says the guy who got us the best lead we've had, Sandalwood said, sitting on her phone and looking at her emails and texts. I don't think anyone who looked at it the same way you did, hell, even Hardy, who's used to the sort of shit, ignored it. But you guys is something we can sink our teeth into. Hopefully we can catch ourselves a nice fat prep soon. I can live with that, Shining says. They got into the on-ramp for the South Bay and the interstate and headed back to California. Meanwhile, back on Adagio. First thing Adagio saw, or what she thought we saw, was Rarity, chatting along with a nice guy, but it turned out to be in vain, as the face was entirely different. Still, it would have been nice to see her again, the teen sighed. Yo, Dazzle, you helping or not? Another siren behind her asked. On it, she said, with noticeable lack of enthusiasm. This was her first time off garrison since we were brought on active duty. It was to Horseshoe Bay, no less. She was part of the supply crew that have been told to pick out the supplies. In return, get a chance to spend a few hours looking around the scenic resort town nestled in the Pacific Ocean. Horseshoe Bay had definitely been on the list of places Adagio wanted to visit. However, it was a place she hoped to visit with her sister and friends. Friends that were now on the way to have bittersweet memories, and sisters who could die at any moment if caught foul. I think I'd give anything right now just to hear Rainbow make another stupid comment. Adagio sighed mentally. Yo, Dazzle, you okay or something? A petty officer asked. Yeah. Just thinking of maybe sunning a little on the beach or something, she lied. Me too. Another assignment replied. Thinking about sunning on the beach gave me a hot guy to release a little stress, if you know what I mean. And not for me. I'll go get shit-faced at the bar. None of the guys here catch my eye. I'm guessing the girls do. Adagio piped in, hoping to disguise her melancholy with an attempt at getting to banter. You wish, Dazzle, though I'm sure you want much my carpet. Your dreams, Gus. Adagio replied, already wandering to a time that never existed. One where her and her sisters and friends, relaxing on the beach. A place where Adagio could be the girl that she should have been. Standing on top of the hills overlooking Horseshoe Bay, Arya and Sonata watched their sister suffer in silence. Yeah, this is Thunderbolt 3, I copy, Arya said to her mic. Nothing out of the ordinary, and nothing seems up with stations 1 and 3. Roger that. Coming off her mic, she said, Command wants us to stay until we're relieved by the secondary team. After that, we can go down for Liberty. After that, Sonata echoed, looking a bit before slinging her carbine. Who's relieving us? Ballad break and music a snap, Arya replied. They should be here in an hour, but let's not worry about that right now. You have any idea what you want to do while we're down there? Why not lunch? Sonata asked. There's a seafood place there that... Sonata suddenly trailed off in the distance. Sonny? Arya looked away from her scope. Twilight recommended a place here, Sonata said in a hushed voice. She said she wanted to hit the place sometime and make happier memories.
I guess that was when that Flash guy attacked her. Arya completely turned away from her scope now. You know, we should have killed him for her sake. Do you really think we could have done that? Sanaa asked. A pause for her sister. No, I guess not, Arya admitted. She had already realized that. She could snipe with the best of them, and she could protect those she cared about. But that was a far cry from being the kind of stone-cold killer that was requested by being a siren. Look, can we talk about something else right now? Sure, what do you want to do? Honestly, go surfing. Me and Rainbow were thinking. Arya's words trailed out of silence again as she realized what she'd done. Do you think we'll ever see him again? Sanaa asked. I hope so, Arya admitted.
Meanwhile, Chicago looked back at his chair. Oh, believe me, after I freak out my girl, she'll be all like, take me now, and boom, I get some. What else don't you mean your ex-girlfriend? Doubleflight told his friend. Sargassio shrugged.
She was just kidding about that, you know? She plays hard to get.
Yeah, right. Green gunned and looked at Sargassio. And that's good to look. Besides, Dusty Rose is going completely freak and pretend to be the deadhead killer. Secondly, once he revealed to herself, she's so going to kick her in the balls for that. Third, I heard my girl is her friend, and she's clearly said X. Sargassio waved a dismissive hand. Oh, trust me, I know Dusty. She wanted my hot bod for the longest time. Would have gone all the way if her parents gotten home so early. But this is the perfect way to get it. Especially with the rumor that the killer's only going after virgins. I guarantee even guys like Runts and Snips are going to get some. Hell, I might even be able to trade up. Dude, didn't say I didn't warn you, okay? You're going to get your nuts kicked in and your girlfriend pissed his foot to you, Green explained. You mean his ex-girlfriend, Doubleflight corrected. Told you, man. I got it all down pat. Sargassio insisted. What could go wrong?
Thanks for checking in on me, Mr. Andre.
The CHP officer standing at the door nodded. Well, your parents asked me to check up on you while they're out of town on business, Dusty. So I don't mind. In fact, I think the biggest concern I have is my son trying to peek in your window. Dusty Rose blushed furiously as Romy laughed. Don't worry. I told him he was grounded for a month and he tried.
Thanks,
she said, trying to recover. She actually eyed Oakleaf, but he was a couple of years too young for her, with her starting her senior year at Forest Deads, and him just starting his freshman year.
I mean, he's cute for his age and pretty mature, but young. And again, my cousin's going up with an incoming freshman, and he's a junior. Then again, people are going to talk.
She sighed. Well, they were going to talk anyway, especially after she decided to break up with Sargassio. He was a nice enough guy, but she just wasn't feeling it in the relationship. It was better to let him down now before things got serious. Honestly, she was much more in tune with Oak instead of Sargassio. Besides, she hoped her friend Summer Sparkle was wrong when she said that from what she knew about Sargassio, he didn't take no for an answer easily. Fortunately, when worst came to, she could always ask Oak for help.
Better think about that later, she mused.
For now, she had to do laundry and a whole bunch of other things in order to get ready for tomorrow. Plus, she wanted to make sure she was safe, after all. Even though she had a cop next door neighbor, she still had to take care of herself and make sure there was no way she would be attacked without anyone knowing. She had to be careful. She made a mental note to call her soon-to-be ex-boyfriend and tell him she would meet him tomorrow. Elsewhere.
Jerry, is it a good idea to be here? Mango asked her older sister. Mom's gonna be pissed. Why? Jerry asked. Look, I don't want to take over Mom's store when I grow up. I want different things out of life, and I had to push myself to do so.
She looked at the books in the shelf in the neighborhood library.
I mean, look at Mom. What Dad left us, she did her best to make sure we made it okay. I want to be able to take care of her Mom when she gets older. The only way I could do that is to become the best pharmacist I can be. But you know about the killer, right? I don't want to be killed by some mean guy, Mango wailed. Don't worry, you won't, another girl said. She was dark-skinned and had hair hued in bands of purple, green, neon red, frizzled riot of color. She had stone gray eyes and behind fashionable lenses, wore a simple t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers. I know for a fact that killers don't go after little girls. Really? How do you know? Mango asked the stranger, who smiled in return. Oh, trust me, killers don't like hurting cute little girls. I read it somewhere. Mango gave the stranger a smile and stood matter-of-factly next to her sister. Yay! Mango turned to look at her sister. Hey, can I go look at the computers? Yes, but don't go anywhere else, Cherry told her. Let me finish my research so we can go to lunch later. Burger King? Yeah, we could go there. Mango hugged her sister and then scampered out towards the computer. Cherry didn't go to the stranger. Thanks for that. She's really been worried as of late the killers go get her. I can understand those fears, but she should know they're unfounded. Why's that? Natalie translowered her glasses. Oh, trust me. I just know these things.